Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, fellow Whovians. My name is Paparazzo Dave Chapman, and this is The Legend of the Traveling Tardis. We are back. Sorry about last week, folks. I'll take responsibility for that. We didn't have a show, largely because I just couldn't pull a show together, and that's on me. So I want to apologize to all of you. Thank you for coming back. We got a great show for you today. We're going to be talking about the Master. Which Master? We'll find out. Because who is the Master, really? Dum dum dum. But it's not going to be just me, of course. We've got some absolutely wonderful human beings here with me. Let's start off on the other side of the pond with the Candyman. Hey, Mark, how's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. Yourselves? I'm good. I'm loving this episode for the Master. I have my favourites. I do have some of my not so favourites. So it'd be interesting to see, from a British perspective, a nice sweet one, in my opinion, who I think is the best Master.
Definitely. Speaking of a British perspective, but not quite, really. Oh, hi, Nick.
Hi, I'm here with a transatlantic perspective. I'm excited about this episode too. Right now I'm in upstate New York with a view of a cemetery. Great view of the cemetery.
Oh, zombies!
I hope not.
I hope not too.
They're uphill from me. That would be bad.
Yeah. Now, of course, one of my favorite of all of the masters is also sometimes a doctor, and he's also sometimes a reverend. The Reverend Amagon. Hello, Tom. How are you doing today?
Well, I was a master for 1 second while I was the Valyard and the doctor. Always a reverend, but of course, hello there.
Hello.
It's your boy, Tasty Cake.
Hashtag awesome.
Ready for Mardi Gras?
Yes.
At Tuesday, my Funko Pop's got the beats. Well, you know, all that.
Oh, that's cool. I got a little king baby. There we go. Little king baby from the top of a cake.
Nice. Yeah. It is not Mardi Gras without a real party. And if you want a real party, you got to have Melanie Dean. Hi, Melanie.
Hello, everyone. Yeah. Look at this man with all these segues. Kicking
right?
Left and right.
How you doing?
I'm doing quite well. I'm not going to let you take the fall for last Tuesday by yourself because I was dead from MegaCon. So I was just like, show, what? So no, I'm not letting Dave take that one all himself. That was on me as well. I could have paid attention to what day of the week it was, and not just being dead like everyone else. But yeah, anyway.
No, I expected you to be dead. This is post MegaCon is always dead.
But I thankfully didn't get con crud. I didn't. I washed my hands. I did not wear a mask. However, whenever before I ate, I went all the way to the restroom to actually wash my hands. Anytime I handled money, hand sanitizer right afterwards, just being on those things that we should have learned during COVID. And some people just didn't stick. But yeah, I lucked out and did not come into contact with any con crud or any other type of diseases. So yay! I was just having good old fashioned exhaustion.
Just exhaustion, yeah, exactly.
Can I quickly share off 2 things I did do?
Yes, of course you can.
They're not finished, but because I'm still painting them, I got somebody's autograph.
Wow.
Holy moly.
Right there. So I'm going to do gold and all this other kind of stuff. So all the markers are laid down. I got Tom Hiddleston.
Nice.
And I started painting this, and then I didn't like it, so I started painting it again. Hence all the paint on the side.
Oh, wow.
And that is Hayden Christensen's. But I also got Ewan McGregor's. So we've got Obi-Wan. Yay! So that. So, ta-da! That was my show and tell. We'll do more of it next week.
Holy moly!
You've got all the splattery on the side. Is that cutting off when you're finished?
That's going to cut off. I tend to, when I'm painting, if I'm doing a show, I'll just paint directly on the canvas, and that way later on, it's easier to roll up. It's easier just to put into. I roll mine up and put it into a pillowcase, so it's nice and safe. And then after the fact, I will put it on the stretcher bars. I will wrap. I'll stretch it, wrap it, retouch, varnish, blah 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 blah. So that way, I don't have to stretch it first, like when you buy, if you go to Michael's or any other hobby stores or even Blick, you could buy the canvas already stretched and gessoed. I kind of go the opposite way.
Fair. I like it. I actually kind of like the look of it just on its own, like with the splatter.
Yeah, all the extra on the side, that was me not liking the color and just doing it there and just leaving it. So it's like, okay, I have to clean my brush. Just leave it on the canvas. And
make a canvas quilt out of all of your extra pieces.
Oh my God, I could do that. But anyway, we need to be talking about the master.
Exactly. Well, before we do that, let's say hello to everybody. You know, well, we don't need to say hi to that guy. We do. You know, Dan's here. We got Ramona's here. Guess who runs the Master fan page?
Probably
Is
Master.
it Tom Hiddleston?
Mr. $315 autograph?
It's a guess. It's not a good guess.
That's big though. That was awesome.
Saying hi. Hi, Tom. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Dan. How's it going? How's it going with you being retired, sir? No more working in the factory.
Got all this time to watch back episodes of The Legend of the Traveling Tardis.
And my YouTube page.
And all of our YouTube pages.
Yeah, all the
Exactly.
Watch all
Dave's
of
got
the
the Twitch thing and
things.
everything, and me too.
Exactly. Oh, we don't have to say hi to that guy either, you know. Oh, hi, but we love you, Nick. We love. And all of the hell. This is why I love art. This is why last week sucked. I'm like, I love our audience. I love you all.
Yeah.
You guys are wonderful. You guys are Can I make this thing go? Come in.
Do the thing.
Come
Just
in.
do the heart.
When I try to do it off, but yeah, exactly. Let's do the heart. I love you all. There you go. See, there you go.
It's working.
Magic is happening. There, we'll go like that, and then like that. I love you all. You are all wonderful. I love you, all of you.
Okay, Barney.
That's scary, but we could all do that. You know?
We could just lean forward.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, but I got a microphone here, so it's like, you know.
I don't know if you can see that.
Dave, we love you too.
Aw. Yes, Dan officially began his retirement. There's our picture with all of our second and third favorite Jedis after Jessica.
After Jessica, sorry, show and tell. Stopping. I was so excited. Sorry.
That's next week's show.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was just so excited.
You send that to me, and I'll load. Or you don't have to send it to me. You can load it your damn self.
Anyway, Master.
So yes, we've got all of these wonderful people. Hey, Chance, how's it going from Atlanta? Lovely. Andrew.
Oh, Chance just had a Comic-Con. He said, "Yeah, Atlanta."
Yeah,
Atlanta Comic-Con was this weekend. Past weekend.
Wow.
I was not paying attention to that.
Not Dragon Con, Atlanta Comic-Con.
Yeah.
A little smaller.
And when's Galley 1? Because all my friends are sending pictures of people going to Galley 1.
That is.
Is it this weekend?
This weekend. Yeah, I think it's this weekend. As is the Vancouver Fan Expo. So I had invites to all of these things, and I'm not because I'm just
Vancouver.
Yeah.
Oh, Fan Expo. Yeah, that's right. There's a
British Columbia, Vancouver, not Washington, Vancouver.
They also have 2 Toronto ones, don't they? A Toronto Comic-Con and Canada. Fan
Expo Canada. Yeah.
I'm trying to work my way to get to something in Calgary. I guess it's a small type of convention this year.
It's just a little one.
It's a tiny one that I might be able to go to. We'll see. I
will in fact be at the Calgary Expo for sure. So
for sure.
Yeah. That the Calgary Expo and Edmonton Expos are associated with MegaCon, which is why it's always sad when I can't go to MegaCon, but also why I always wear my Calgary Expo gear at MegaCon.
Is Tom about to start throwing beads around? What's he doing over there?
Oh Lord, no, we can't do that. We no, Tom, we can't. That'll get us flagged on YouTube. We can't do that whole beads on Mardi Gras thing. No.
It's a screen. Get off my neck.
It's away.
Oh my God. I feel like Mr. T for a moment. I beat up all this stuff on my neck.
So yes, we've got a whole lot of years of the Master, and we were kind of talking. That was one of the things we talked about when he had our "What Should We Do" episode. It was kind of an episode talking more about the Master, and I've actually got a few other ideas for the Master coming up as well.
Wow.
But why don't we? So I kind of went through and got some people's favorites, and we've got a few of the the order of things, and of course we have Roger Delgado, the original.
Which I know some friends swear that is the beginning and end of Master. Their favorite Master is Delgado.
He definitely had a lot of charm. He had the evil charm.
Yes, he exuded classic villain in my opinion.
Yeah, and his relationship with the Third Doctor was
amazing,
fascinating.
Yes.
They had great chemistry. They had a great relationship within characters. Probably almost as close as Missy and the Doctor. I think it was probably the closest we'd see in the since then. Full stop.
Right. And partly because of where the Third Doctor was at the time. He was exiled. He was the only one of his kind on the planet as far as he knew. So to meet someone else from, one of his own people was very special to him. I think the audience understood that.
It was so well done. And he was the quintessential Bond villain to Pertwee's Bond, because that was the height of the spy thrillers. And so they really that pairing went really, really well. And unfortunately, Roger Delgado then passed away. But they didn't want to lose the Master, but they didn't want to just straight up regenerate him. They weren't sure what they were going to do with this other Time Lord yet. So then we got this. Peter Pratt and the Decayed Master.
They tried. As I'm watching it more with take the adult cynicism out and just look at for what they were going for. They were trying to go something with like you said, it's a decayed Master. It would probably be executed much differently today, albeit much better. But that's what they were trying to go for, something decayed, dark, blah, 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 blah. Maybe not, the flesh actually falling off one's face, but paper mache, kind of.
Exactly. And it wasn't too bad. It wasn't as bad. In one of the only cases of them recasting the same iteration of the character, we then had Jeffrey Beavers come in as a less creepy version, because the rubber mask, this is a rubber mask, shock, had basically deteriorated, so we gave us a whole bunch of different makeup effects instead. And
which is it. Step in as the concepts go, great concept, and now the execution is getting a lot better.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, Jeffrey Beavers came in and did some stuff with Big Finish Audio as well. There we go. Hold on, we'll bring that up there. The Rev's got that right there. So we did have a fair bit of Jeffrey Beavers, and part of the reason they brought him in is they were negotiating with his next iteration, Anthony Ainley, and they just couldn't come to an agreement with him, so they brought in Jeffrey Beavers and his super creepy version, and he almost looks like a Silurian there, actually.
Yeah, camera's really picking him up well.
Yeah, he is. It's very true. And they actually did a kind of a fun transition into Ainley. So we got a little bit of his regenerations are all messed up, just kind of in general. But we did get him with the next one, Anthony Ainley, and a few people had some things to say, including Mackenzie Floor. She mentioned that Anthony Ainley is my master, and that's why I loved Sasha's master. I'm confused at that. That's okay. But Nick, you also had a few things to say about Mr. Ainley.
Yeah, Anthony Ainley. Oh my goodness, because he was my master growing up. He was the one who ended the Fourth Doctor's reign, which was mind-boggling at the time. The way that Anthony Ainley's master comes in was wild and creepy. He steals somebody else's body. He was a bad guy. We didn't know when he was going to crop up, and when he did, it was a surprise at the time. So, yeah, he's a little over the top sometimes. He's a bit of a giggler. But for the time and the actions he was given made him a pretty good master. Torturing Adric? No.
No, that's a little dark.
Oh, poor
Yeah.
Edric.
Also, the ways that the Master was sent off at the end of stories was really cool as well. Castrovalva getting kind of dragged into Castrovalva as it collapsed in on itself really helped us to kind of remember the character and solidified him as this mythical being.
It's true. So we had some other great comments in here. We got Andrew Morris. Hello, Andrew. Welcome back. Shame Delgado's never got to finish his character. It's very true.
Yeah.
There was some more stuff going in there, and it was kind of tragic how that all went down.
Mm-hmm.
But let's keep that to another side. But we definitely have Delgado and Extra Crispy. I mean that is a valid.
That could be Lay's new flavor, or Walker's in the UK. Lay's the Master Edition.
Y'all have
You will
KFC over
taste
there,
me.
Oh Lord! Oh,
an extra
Make it tasty.
Exactly. The
no.
Master Edition at KFC.
That's just this is just what how did we get from fun to cannibalism?
Well, because the words extra crispy always means delicious.
I mean, it's true.
What?
Can't really deny that.
And I am the candy man, so anything we talk about food or snacks, I'm gonna be in it.
Now, see if it was extra crunchy, that's kind of that's just
That's
tasteful.
weird,
But
yeah.
crispy, it's there's more whimsy in there.
Extra crunchy
having fun.
is more the thing of the dinosaurs eating humans or dragons. Crunchy and tastes good with ketchup.
Ketchup.
Unless you love Cadbury's Crunchy Bar.
Yep. Yep. Ainley's faced off against a lot of doctors. This is true.
Or Ainley's also the last Master in Classic.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pull that picture up. That was one of the things. Did they ever explain what happened? Because he was starting to go feral.
Yeah, he's turning into a cat.
Yeah, he was turning into a cat. And did they ever actually explain the transition there of him no longer being a cat? Or did they just kind of go in typical fashion?
I don't remember.
I don't recall.
But I do have a wiki up here to see if they're going to say anything about it. Because the Ainley body deteriorated, so he went back to being Jeffrey Beavers.
I think they
from there. That's how we get Beavers come back.
Yeah. But once you regenerate, you lose all those cat vibes.
True. Now we did while he's looking for that, we did have a good question up here somewhere. Where is that other one that I start? Might want to know if we were going to count Gordon Tipple, and I got to say yes, of course we do.
Hey,
so that's a picture of him in his costume when he's not just waiting to be executed. So it was, you can definitely see he's got a lot of there was a lot of footage that just got cut from the TV film from the Eighth Doctor story. He also did the original the prologue ramble that ended up being Paul McGann. He actually did it in one version as well. Mm-hmm. So there's some great stuff there, and you can kind of see with that costume and that makeup the how close he is to the previous masters.
I like the little prison kind of deal that he looks like a fun little oil lamp. I wouldn't say lava lamp, but one little oil lamp.
Come on, let's call it a lava lamp. We can call that a lava lamp because that's more or less what they did to him, is turned him into something lava-y goo.
I was thinking more Hannibal Lecter. You know, he's so dangerous that they got to have him trapped like this so he doesn't bite anybody. Right?
Yeah, and maybe that's part of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a cone of shame, but it's reversed.
Exactly, and he did go snake-like for the TV movie, which is definitely weird, definitely fun. I agree entirely.
Here's a off-topic, random fan theory: snake dance. Do you reckon the snake was the master?
Yes, because he It's been so long. I looked at. I was focusing on my master, trying to find out this information. He said he learned a ritual or from some other society how to become the snake. That's why he was his body destroyed, but his soul existed in the snake form, entering Eric Roberts' body.
Yeah.
So it's all connected.
I'm just throwing that thing out there. I didn't know, being perfectly honest, really, but it's a good little off spin-off.
There's some really interesting. There's a lot of, as with any character that kind of comes and goes and has holes in. There's a lot of rumors and speculation on different masters and what they do. There's a fan edit with Ainley from a game edited into the movie.
Yeah,
interesting. I've never seen that.
He had a nice burgundy coat and a cravat, I believe.
Maybe like from a
but
game.
He no
like
longer
game
was
show?
Cat.
No, it was a computer game. It was from the 90s.
Oh, okay.
I've got it somewhere. I'll try and think what it was called.
So he was still the master.
It was still the master.
Portraying the character. Okay.
Last time.
In the Doctor Who game, he pretty much did everything of all the like cutscenes.
Or the linking.
Oh, okay.
So I'll just find out which one it was called.
Yes. In amidst all of those, there was also some rumors that and speculation and fan cast, blah 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 blah, that the monk was actually the master. So if they ever wanted to bring back the meddling monk, that would be a route they could take, which would be really interesting, as well as the war chief from the war games with Patrick Troughton.
Yeah, I'm watching that right now. It's a sad time in the household because I just watched episode 9. I'm almost done with the second Doctor's era. And the war chief, he gets shot and dragged away. We do not see him regenerate. We don't see what happens to him. Could he be the master? It's possible. He's very masterish.
It's true.
We've got to say hi to Billy from the Kitchen Killers.
Billy, don't you lose my number?
And yeah, Mike is right. It's Doctor Who, Destiny of the Doctors.
Yes.
Wikipedia didn't show that.
That was a big deal.
I remember.
Yeah.
And no, Billy, all the troublemakers are not here because you're not here.
Yeah, he's the biggest troublemaker.
Our wonderful kitchen killer himself, Billy Floyd, in the audience.
Who was also at MegaCon.
Saw the pictures.
Yep. Yay! One of the big reasons I was sad I missed MegaCon. No Billy.
Yeah.
Billy.
Sad. So yeah, but Billy is in fact here. Yay! So yeah, so we and with the Snake Master and whatnot, we start moving into the newer versions and some of the more interesting versions, I think, of the Master, because this is really where he started getting to be less of the same character. Because there is a lot, like you can see. I mean, there's so much, and it was obviously very intentional, keeping him with that very Bond villain-esque look. A little more alien.
I have a goatee, therefore I am the villain.
Exactly. And he has to come down and he has to look fabulous and dress for the occasion. And so now we have Eric Roberts, who we have, of course, interviewed here on the show. And his master gets a bad rap. Because of course it does. Because of course that's what the TV movie was. It was not good in the traditional sense. It was great and cheesy. But one thing I love about this, he's come back. In I think it was 2016. About 5, they came out with Big Finish Audio, of course, came out with Master. As they were coming with all of the other masters, and so they came out with 2 box sets in the teens, and you've got this much more fleshed out version of the Master, and opposite Chase Masterson, who plays a wonderful and principled assassin who has her own series. But now, and I'm going to, part of why I want to bring this up is because sometime in the next couple of weeks, we are supposed to see the digital release of the third one.
Ooh.
Planet Doom.
Planet Doom.
Big Finish has moved to a digital first format, so that it's going to come out in digital first. For supply chain issues, people who pre-ordered the CDs will eventually get the CDs, but they're not going to wait to release the digital stuff any longer. So I'm super excited to check this out because he's got it's a businessman. He's like that evil businessman mogul, almost like Kingpin-esque kind of character. He doesn't chew the scenery quite as much, for good and evil, as that is.
He still takes a lot of risks. And
Yes.
Jason is asking a question about the Master.
Where are we?
Why the Master has more regenerations about the Doctor.
And I think it is because he's more rash. He takes more risks. He allies himself with more aliens, and he gets himself in a pickle more. So
he's taken over a few bodies. They're not necessarily regenerations.
No.
Eric Roberts' Master was a human.
Also, that the Master, the Time Lords gave the Master a second lot of generations as well in the five Doctors.
Well, it was mentioned that they were going to do so, but according to the research I was seeing, they're saying that Alex McQueen, who plays the first Big Finish audio master, who was between the classic and new, that's when they gave him. Let's see. First thing I should know about McQueen's master is that he's the first of the Time Lords' new life cycle because he was setting up for the Time War. So we got the hint to say, well, we'll give you a set of generations, but since he never returned to bring the Doctor, it is like, well, no go. You're going to continue on with that decaying Tremas body, and we go on from there.
poor Tremas.
So yeah, the Master has his own very interesting timelines of everything. So yes, stop that. I'm getting messages for when I'm in Louisville.
We're pinging over there.
For a meeting, so it's like, yay.
I do think Eric Roberts' portrayal for the Master, because it seemed as if he was the theatric part might have been the portion where he was kind of hearkening back to all of the other Masters to keep that lineage of the character the same. And unfortunately, when it's been a while and then you're coming, reinventing the character, at this part of time, being theatrical on screen comes off as camp real quickly. But even he had said on the show that he really didn't research the old ones. He was just kind of going with what he wanted to do just from the get-go. So maybe that was a choice, knowing that this is reinventing a property and that he decided to do this as, because it's a safe bet, knowing that that's how, the English actors would be a little bit more theatrical back then in the 60s, 70s, whatnot. But I agree with you that when he started that way when he did, as Andrew brings up, dress for the occasion, and he was doing that little flair thing. But then after that, he kind of tamped it down a little bit to go to Dave's point of being more business mogul kind of, I don't say Gordon Gekko, but just more of that style of very regimented. I'm doing this. I have my plan, and here we go. And then, again, the camp was kind of there still, depending on the director.
I must admit, I did struggle with Eric Roberts as a Master. Love Eric Roberts to bits. He's an awesome person. You ever meet him in person. But at that time, he was also doing Best of the Best, and they just released Best of the Best too. And his character was Alex. So from like a martial art guy playing the Master, I just couldn't get my head around it. But that was just me. But rewatching it back, I do like Eric's performance. Okay, it was very, very Americanized from a British point of view. So that's probably why it didn't go down too well over this side of the pond. as him playing the Master. But if you just watch it as a movie, it's cool. Like you said, it's a great film.
It says I kind of look at the movie as a what if episode.
Yeah.
It's its own little what if. Here we go. And it's standalone, little fun. Here we go. It's sanctioned by BBC. It's Doctor Who.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah. Eric Master was a bit demonic, killing easily and spitting venom. Yeah, no, that's accurate. He definitely had a darker bent to him, especially for the time frame.
The contacts in his eyes.
Yeah, the contacts in his eyes. He was an interesting master. Yeah. I love Ramona's comment here that body snatching is not a subject talked about in polite Time Lord society. And Ramona will know this, but spoiler. Hold on, I suppose we're getting into newish Doctor stuff, so we should just for the record.
Oh, not yet. Spoilers.
In the Masters audio series, he rather than snatching a body, he just snatches an identity. So it's kind of a through line. He actually has some really interesting through lines of the character from the film that make more sense because Big Finish is bloody amazing and just do everything so well. You think the Master always defaulting back to evil at all softens the blow of the Master taking over so soon after Missy?
Shall we come back to that after?
Let's come back to that one. Yeah, let's come back to that one.
And hi, Kevo and Nico.
We're getting there.
We'll definitely answer this question.
No, I kind of want to do that when we get to. So I was like, yes, and then I know I will keep going with Missy.
We will 100% come back to Kevo's things. Andrew's got a great question earlier as well that we will come back to as well.
I'm thinking that the Master is always a reflection of his or her Doctor. So Eric Roberts is larger than life. Paul McGann had lots of energy. He's all bouncing around the movie. We needed a big Master to counter that. And Anthony Ainley, most of the time, more serious, with our Peter Davison more serious than Tom Baker, Doctor. So whether the plans ever come to fruition, I think there is an intention there with all the Masters.
Yeah, I've never actually kind of made that connection, but that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, the pendulum's kind of just being even what's going on. So if it's going one, it's gonna
go far the other way. When you have a Rowan Atkinson playing the Doctor, you're gonna have a Jonathan Pryce as the Master. So yeah, I could not.
I'm so happy you included that.
Like, how could we not talk about the Curse of the Fatal Death?
The bumps.
They're not breasts; they're Dalek bumps. So yes, of course, there's the famous charity sketch with Rowan Atkinson as the Doctor and several other people. But yes, Jonathan.
As funny as it is, it's also just spot on. That's the brilliant thing with this entire skit was that it was just the characterization was just it was accurate. You were like, oh no, we're being funny and this is just outlandish and this but the characters, they're right.
In that episode, that was the first time we saw a female Doctor.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh yeah, in live, yeah.
Yeah, that was Joanna Lumley, I think.
Yeah.
But because it was for comic relief, it wasn't canon. So
no. But we'll take it anyway.
Could have been.
But I must admit, I do love the the same thing they did in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. When if I have a time machine, I can go back even further.
Yeah.
And that's hilarious.
Who are we seeing, Nick?
This is Professor Ross.
Hello.
Just to say hello.
Hi.
Hello. Pull up a chair and join us.
Yeah, well, we're just in from dinner. We had some Mexican dinner. So yeah.
Professor, we're talking about the Master.
Oh, the Master. Yes, I love the Master.
Who's your favorite?
Simon Pegg. Was Simon Pegg ever the Master?
Maybe he should be.
Or the fella that looks like Simon Pegg.
All right.
Yeah.
John Simm.
Yeah.
We're closing on him.
I loved him. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. anyway, I'm going to go and get. I've had a long day at work. So.
Thank you,
Go
Professor.
relax.
joining
Put your
us.
shoes off.
Arrivederci.
Tune in on YouTube and you can chime in and make fun of Nick from the comment section.
Yes.
What is that? There's
Mwahahaha.
something has fallen off.
I one of the I don't do a lot on TikTok, but there's a TikTok commentator from Saskatchewan. He's a teacher, but his wife actually him in the comment section of his videos. He's like actually, and he just cracks up. He's like, I have to film a video on this now. My wife is taking the piss out of me on my own comment section. Thanks, wife. And that's sorry. Total sidetrack of Canadian politics because that's kind of what he does.
Well, has really opened the floodgates, bringing in family and just doing the little cameos. I love it.
I love it. Yes, exactly. That's again why I love our little peoples. Oh, there we go. Yep, there we go.
Yep.
She's got an invite.
Done.
Nick, what was she a professor in?
She's a professor in film and communication.
Ooh,
Chair of her department up here in Fredonia.
Nice.
Fabulous. So definitely, we definitely could get some good thoughts from her.
Oh yeah.
If you two talk, come up with a good concept. We'll do this.
Oh, that would be a show.
Oh, I want it. I want the show. I want it to happen. So yes, as she was mentioning, we start moving into the modern doctors, and starting with the hidden doctor who wasn't really the doctor. This is the master, which kind of set up a little bit of Joe Martin's doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Really, if you look at it with Derek Jacobi, Sir Derek Jacobi, coming in as a human, we think, and then eventually just realizing that he is in fact the master, but we don't get much of him.
No.
Actually, we do.
Yes, we do.
What we do.
You're a lot.
But before we even talk about Big Finish, he was also in another episode as the master before he played Professor Yana.
Was he?
What?
Scream of a Shulker.
Oh yes.
Oh,
He played the voice of the master. I just had to double check on that one.
That's kind of cool.
Credit. So he's now played master in pretty much 2 formats.
Yep. It's 3 really.
Yeah.
That's very, very cool. But yeah, as you mentioned, I meant to bring up some of his War Doctor CD albums and I didn't. But yeah, he has a whole series, several CD sets of the War Master, of his iteration prior to him coming into the TV version. So this is him still knowing he's the Doctor and kind of facing off against Paul McGann's 8th Doctor and all of that. And he's got such a good grounded evil to him that I really do wish. I know why they didn't keep him around. I love what they did coming out of him, which we'll get to in a second, but I really would have liked to have had more of him on screen, not just having to track down the big finishes, which I have not listened to yet. I know they're there and they keep getting bumped in my list. But yes, at the end he gets killed, which of course means we all know regeneration into John Simm.
We just before we get to John Simm, we also got William Hughes as the young master.
Oh yes,
yes,
yeah. He was looking into the vortex in the 10th Doctor.
Oh yeah,
the child version. Yeah,
he passed away at a young age when he was on holiday.
Oh,
oh no.
So yeah. I think he passed away in 2018. So I think he just passed his education and suddenly he was found not alive while I was on holiday. So he was like one of the youngest masters.
Mm-hmm. No, that's I was going to come back to that. Oh, and as well, just to before with Jacoby, Mark Muncy, who wasn't able to join us, he mentioned that the War Master is in fact his jam. So that was a little bit of a shout there for him. And again, yeah, he was great.
He is amazing. I'm wondering, if it was partly because of his availability that he's only on screen the one time. It's like, just need a really good master for one episode. Derek Jacobi. Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm sure he had a bit of a price tag attached to him as well.
Yeah.
And this is still old enough in the series where they didn't have that much of a budget. They weren't going for the big stars necessarily.
Yeah.
They were also a fair amount of before they were stars. You go back and watch and go, oh my Lord, that's such and such, or that's such and such. And you go, yeah, apparently you can't drink anything, Dave, because every time you
seems
do,
to be the case. Yeah.
the camera just goes whoop, and then you look at the camera.
It wasn't zooming on my fabulous logo mug that I got.
I think it's focusing on Mackenzie's
me.
book, because every single time it goes back and says, oh, there's Mackenzie's book right there behind
That's good.
It's true. There we go. Let's see if I can make it.
Mackenzie.
So take a drink too.
Our Mackenzie floor.
Here it is. I still have no idea, but there's Mackenzie's book behind me. And the Toy Masters game, the Celestial Toy Makers game.
Oh, cool.
And my Funkos.
The Trilogic game. Is that what that is?
Box 1, Neil Patrick Harris's game. It's a solo game that says very, 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 very many times in the instruction booklet, "You're alone, right? You're this is a solo game. You're doing this by yourself. This is not a tag team here, people." Right. So it'll be. I haven't had a chance to do it. I haven't had a chance to do many things. But I when I play that, I'm going to try and record myself. I'm not going to stream it though, because it says you're supposed to be alone. So I want to see what it does, and I can kind of put together a clips show that doesn't spoil everything.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Because we don't want our spoilers. Back to John Simm. We had I was looking up. I forget which. I was looking for a different storyline of somebody. Was it Donna? I think I might have actually been looking through the Donna episode, getting ready for our Donna episode, and just kind of okay. I'm just going to keep going with John Simm's master because he had a good story arc in there, and he did a really good job. And he was, again, a little bit of Sasha Dhawan in there, hiding in plain sight for a while. So yeah, no, he had a really good everything, and he's just kind of fun.
And he's again to that equal piece that Nick was talking about with David Tennant, and how David Tennant had a tendency of being, he could play, his range was out to here. So here you have again another actor who's a master, who's matching that doctor, who can also go out to here, where it can be very, very solemn, very, very low notes, very quiet, very, and then all of a sudden, hello, just effervescence. Stop drinking from your cup.
I'm
bam.
I said hello, like hello.
Turn that off. I'm just trying to figure out what it is.
I mean, good Lord. But it's another master word. The pendulum can swing wildly here, and the master for the doctor, and it's matching.
That's right. Melanie, we feel like he's a match for the doctor, don't we?
See, in the UK, John Simm was well known for Life on Mars. Before he got Doctor Who. I'm not sure if you guys got Life on Mars or Ashes to Ashes in the US, but if you can get hold of it, it's really good to watch.
It definitely exists on something. I don't know if it's on Prime or it's definitely out there.
It's on Prime, yeah.
Has it got both Life on Mars and Ashes to Ashes?
Yes. Yeah.
There we go.
Cool.
Yeah, I think most North Americans know him more for the Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and the.
No, that's a different character.
That's
Simon Pegg. Here we go again. John Simm.
Bye. Although that would be an interesting, he would be an interesting master, actually. Now that we're in there, but
Simon
That's what I was
just
thinking, yeah.
mentioned.
yeah, he was. You know, you have the you could have the master as the controller in the station.
Thank you, Kevo. I never
Extra
knew
show, so
that.
it's either Kevo or possibly Nico saying we got a
Nico.
U.S. adaptation on ABC for Life on Mars. It was bad, LOL. I think that was the one with Michael Imperioli. I think I'm trying to remember, and the brain's not working. But I remember it being bad. It wasn't great.
If you like British crime dramas, then Life on Mars is very, very cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. I keep seeing it and just kind of passing it by.
Don't watch it.
Okay.
We recommended Paparazzo.
Excellent. Yes, it was.
It was. I was thinking of the right show.
Yay!
It wasn't great.
Throw some beads. Yeah.
It was after
Yay.
for me. It was like after Imperioli was on Sopranos, so I was like, okay, I'll watch. He's a good actor. It didn't do well, and I didn't know that was a show that was being an import, so I didn't know that either. I just was like, oh, it's not catching me.
No. Yeah. And we did, of course. John Simm came back for a bit at the end of the Missy era.
Uh-huh.
And Missy was a really interesting level of insane, but also she had a similar. I love that she had a similar relationship, like I said earlier, with as Delgado and Pertwee. But I know Melanie, when it was brought this up, she's like, yeah, no, I'll go ahead and wax poetic about Missy for a while. So here we'll just put you on solo. The rest of us can all have a break.
As I try to stealthily eat a chip, that's when he called me out.
Of course.
Anyway,
why would I know at that exact moment? That's how we do things with Melanie.
That's why we do things. I absolutely adored Missy as the master. I thought that her character, the characterization of the master, was again on point with it. The master's manipulative. There is an evil to it, absolutely. But the master's just likes it's remember back when Tennant goes onto the waters of Mars and like who are you? And it's like, oh, I'm the doctor, fun. That's kind of to me like the master. It's the master. I'm a master and I'm doing it for fun. It's just that the idea of fun is just a little bit more, I don't know, sinister. It's more. It is there. Yes, it is evil, but I think it's the master's playing is the master. So here we have Missy. I loved how Missy comes out and you don't realize who it is until there was like little nuances with Michelle that you weren't sure at the very beginning of her dancing around, her just having fun and doing this thing and with the dancing and the umbrella. And I'm like, okay, this deranged Mary Poppins. This is insane, amazing. And then you find out it's a master. And to me, just all those pieces were like, well, of course it is. And she was just this fairy tale kind of fun, like dark fairy tale kind of fun, where it's that kind of, again, that weird, there's definitely sinister. It's a sinister thing about it. But she was having fun the entire time and cackling like a madwoman. I absolutely adored that episode with her unfortunately that spoilers, her end of the arc where you had the John Simm master come back. And I love the fact that he did the goatee, so he's back like Ainsley and Delgado and all that kind of stuff, just leaning back and you're like, yeah, I missed having this, Thought that was kind of neat. I thought that Missy is my favorite master, and I thought that entire arc was just wonderful. I loved the hell out of her portrayal against the master against the doctor. I thought, again, how to Nick's point, the pendulum swung evenly again with how the equal amounts of flair, the equal amounts of gravitas, how, and then you're still having that fun of bringing back how the doctor and the master are friends-ish. They're like they're the best frenemies you could possibly have, and the doctor pulling out this kind of thing of, oh no, you're really good, trying to get all the good parts out of the master, and the master's like, I'm not good. Just because I happen to do good things doesn't mean I'm good. It's good for me right now. So it was neat having that kind of psychological kind of dichotomy going on. I'm trying to think back to some of the starred ones we had already gone back, because Kevo's the do you think the master always defaulting back to evil at all softens the blow of master, or taking over so soon after Missy? And I think that's a great part of how the default is always evil. And I think Missy kept going different things, and whenever she went off on a little diagram, went back to evil, like you know. And again, one person's to talk on Marvel villains. They're really great Marvel villains because they don't think they're a villain. Any type of good writing of a villain makes it so that the villain doesn't think they're the villain. They're not. And I think Missy doesn't think she's the villain per se, but that master, Missy, but everyone thinks I am, so I might as well have fun and bring it in there. So yeah, maybe I am evil. I'm just gonna have fun with it. What else had in here? I'm trying to look at the other, if there was any other Missy comment, and I don't see it. Well, Ramona has one, and that was Lumiette. I'm not familiar with this. The saying that was the big Finnish female master. I'm not familiar with
Watcher. She was Missy's watcher.
Oh, okay.
So Valyard kind of thing. Well, no, I'm sorry. Someone said it was the Watcher one time, but then someone also said it was Luminette was the Valyard in comparison. So the evil to the good, and vice versa. So, but I heard it twice. I never bothered looking it up, and I got 72 tabs on my screen. I'm hoping my computer doesn't shut down.
Living dangerously.
See,
I too.
I've got a completely different view of Missy.
Go for it.
I found the problem I found with Missy that she was too good, and I felt that the master in the previous incarnations were just pure evil. I know some people saying it's like her redemption, the master's redemption arc, but when Sasha came back and went straight evil, so I'm the sort of the person in the camp who felt that Missy was more like the Rani than the master. It was my I find that when she was being nice, like she was being nice but not sadistic or evil, like some of her plans was just like, yeah, I'm going to do this, but there was no like end goal like how the master did. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I do think that I feel that she was more like the Rani in her character than rather than the previous masters which have gone beforehand. And that's just my point. But Michelle Gomez is wonderful as an actress. If you ever want to check her out in something that she's not playing Missy, then the Netflix Sabrina.
Yes, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina the Witch.
Yeah, I always get confused with the actual title. She plays an excellent character in there.
Doom Patrol, she's good in Doom Patrol as well.
Yeah, so to me, I had a bet with my friend and I lost because he said it. Missy was the master. I said she was a Rani and I lost €5 on it. So that's probably another reason why I'm a little bit bitter.
She gets her own comic.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm learning to love Missy. She was a bit silly when I first saw her on TV. I'm learning to get to know her better and care about her more as I read her comic.
And she, as with all of the rest of the Masters, yes, she also has a big Finish series.
Of course. So I liked her arc too. I feel, the 12th Doctor had his arc. She had hers. Maybe all the death and destruction she sees at the end, what happens to Bill Potts, or the people dying around her, losing the 12th Doctor. Maybe that makes her decide, I want to be in control. I don't want to be at the sharp end of this stick. I want to be the stick. So when she regenerates again, she's evil again.
Do you reckon that Missy was actually lonely? After all the regenerations, that her only friend was the Doctor?
Yeah.
Well,
just taking it from a psychological point of view, that her mental thing, the reason why she was going good, was because that she felt alone.
It's plausible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's something that they suggested. They didn't say it out loud, but yeah, definitely inferred.
Yeah, that she enjoyed being around other people, not necessarily just the doctor, but even her, like, needling Clara all the time, and yeah, it's like having I think she liked having either, like how some villains like having henchmen because that's their way of having people around them. Even though you're constantly telling them what to do and all that kind of stuff, you still are. People are, humans tend to be social animals, and granted that I know they're not human, but they're human-like and are also have social kind of thing when it comes to Time Lord. So maybe she was getting lonely and liking I like being able to poke the same people with a stick. This is fun.
Yeah.
I'm getting the same. I'm beginning to learn what the reactions are and how to needling people is fun. This is cool. This is a new thing. I get to learn what buttons I can push. Ooh,
Yeah.
So I think maybe there was that little bit of, perhaps it wasn't out of loneliness, but she was learning a new way that she could irritate someone and going, oh, I have joy out of this.
Or could you reckon she's jealous of the Doctor because the Doctor had companions and family while she had herself? Or himself, depending on which master incarnation you're talking about.
Themselves.
Themselves.
There's a great fan-made book called The History Between Us, which is all stories with various masters and doctors, and really exploring that kind of thing. Were they lonely? What was their friendship like? It's kind of framed like a couples counseling session. What would happen if they had to sit down and actually talk about their feelings? It's a beautifully produced book.
River said to 11, don't travel alone. The master's always alone. Just have a lot of that stuff building up inside of you. What it can do, you just go nuts.
Well, that's true, because even Donna said that to 10. You need to have somebody to travel with you to stop you.
Yeah.
And there's a master.
Time Lord Victorious happened. Of course, didn't really happen much, and it kind of like faded off, but
I mean, the master has had companions. I would argue that Yi Cho's Chang Li was more the master's companion than the doctor's, despite the fact that he gets shunted into the doctor's companions, because of course he's not evil by default. There's a whole nother episode that I talked all about that. But yeah, so that's I think it's the thing. There's definitely a form of the master that needs that, but again, they also have that need to, I have to control everything around me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's having the Doctor as an equal is a unique experience that he or she, depending on the moment, doesn't get very often. It's a little bit of the Holmes and Moriarty, which is a comparison that gets made an awful lot between these two characters, which, as it should, they are both the smartest people in the room at any given time, and they know it, and they spar as a result.
I would say X is for show. Kevo makes a very good point of always regretted that John Simm's master suggested the idea of a master companion with Lucy, but they did very little with it. And I would make that case that Lucy was kind of forced into that master companion role when it was the whole Saxon arc and all that other kind of that fun stuff. So yeah, I would absolutely argue that's a companion.
Would you
that was
call
companion? The Tolfacane were the henchmen.
Would you call it a companion or a slave?
Well, the master's going to think.
If we were not talking about Doctor Who, I might call it a slave. But in context of the show,
of course, the Doctor's going to have a companion because there's consent for the companion to follow around. The master is going to have a slave, and it's going to have somebody that's going to probably not be fully consensual to be following them around to go, okay, I'll help you.
I would say more minion than slave.
More minion, or maybe even familiar.
Yeah.
It depends on which.
Because she kind of begrudgingly did it until the end that she finally kind of goes. So I can't say it was a complete non-consensual me going around going, oh yeah, I'm going to just follow the master around. Yeah, more of a familiar And
yeah, I think Kevo got it pretty spot on. I'll call it a hostage at least.
At least the hostage. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevo.
What's the terminology? You fall in love with your captor.
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't. Dave started this. He said I was the master. So am I allowed to go devil's advocate? Can I push this to the limit? Yes or no? Just
go.
You say
Go
no,
for it.
then I will not do it.
Of course.
Well, sometimes
Carefully.
you have such great power and stuff. You have anyone. You can do anything you want and marry anyone you want, even if she was like a nude model, and then things like that. Because I'm trying to make things great, and this is my wife, and she does everything I tell her to do. That's what I see.
I really hope I'm not hearing the impression that I think I am.
Yes, you did. That's why you said playing devil's advocate.
Oh. So, right, moving on.
All right.
That was the master point right there.
And we've had it a couple of times with the master, and actually more often than not, really, where you don't know who the master is, and bang, they're the master. And I've said for ages, that's what I want the Doctor to be. I want to not know who the Doctor is for like an episode or two. But Sasha Dhawan's Doctor was and is, I think, something special. Is definitely a different take. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. And the purple suit doesn't help the comparison. He is the Cesar Romero of the Masters. He is the 1966 Joker of this. He is absolutely redonkulously over the top. There's no chewing on the scenery. It's just barreling through it and doing and destroying it. And I love it. He's just so far gone, so far beyond anything else that I absolutely just, it's wonderful. And I think it's one of the few times I don't know that I could say that the pendulum swung appropriately.
Nope.
With those two. And we're not going to blame it on anything because why not? Because we all know what we're all going to say. But I love everything. I mean, okay, I don't love the Time Lord, cyber Time Lords. That's a thing. But character-wise, him as Rasputin dancing to that, like that was glorious camp. That was glorious over the top ridiculousness. And I loved it. And I loved his Doctor with all of the mishmashed outfit. I'm surprised I haven't seen more cosplays of that, quite frankly. Yes, Rev Scott that has, but I'm saying I haven't seen any. I'm just surprised I haven't seen more of them because it is such a delightful outfit.
Dave, you need to travel more. You need to go.
Yeah, you're right. I don't do enough stuff.
Yeah, you don't do it. Yeah, Dave doesn't do enough traveling.
Yeah, I gotta go. I'll figure something out. Maybe I don't know what's the next convention coming up. Where should I go? I mean, I can't make it to Galley 1. I can't make it to Vancouver. So what's that? Maybe I'll go to Pensacon. Let's see if I can find it there. If you're going to Pensacon, dress up as the Sasha Dhawan Master Doctor.
I think it's a testament to Sasha's acting ability that he can, break through the scenery or whatever, do a song. I believe it all because he's such a good actor. I love that master.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't just eat the he didn't chew on it, he ate it. He didn't even eat it. He just swallowed it whole. And then regurgitated it. And
he was the candy master.
Yeah. Everything. I loved it. Because hating with the master race material hurts those of a certain era. Yes. And that was, I think, intentional. That was very much intentional. Whether it was too much, but yes.
I personally met Sasha Dhawan before he got the master role, and he just did Time and Adventures, and he said he had a blast. And once he's got the master, like everyone just went towards him. Like when I met him, because he was only in that one episode of what's it called? Adventures in Time and Space.
Yeah,
he was just sitting by himself. No one really went up to him. You know what I mean? And then the transformation from him being in that show to becoming a master was like completely opposite. It was like a pendulum. It was like going back from one way to the other way. But he's a lovely chap to speak to. Amazing guy. I actually like Sasha Dhawan's master because he's on the same sort of crazy level as John Simm. But the thing which lets him down, he wasn't more sadistic or conniving, I would say, unlike Anthony Anley or Roger Delgado. So to me, I will probably put him a little bit lower than those two. But I do love I love what he does with it. I think the Cyber Time Lords, interesting concept. Not sure if it's going to plan out in any more episodes.
Yeah, we'll have to wait.
We'll find out.
It has come from the Doctor Who magazine. It was Supremacy of the Cybermen. I have that hardcover trade paperback. Within Rassilon, last we saw him, he was converted to half Cyberman because he said, well, I'm going to go with the master race. So there was issues there, and even converting the master into Cyberman Delgado. So everything is going to be like, well, you read it before, but it wasn't on TV. It wasn't canon. So they're just rehashing it. So again, I agree, Mark. I'm not into the Cyberman Time Lords. I had them in the backdrop. I'd put them away. Like, is this? I want to say this has to be like another universe, because I just can't think this is the mainstream. It has to be, i.e., the Kelvin universe kind of thing. We had 9 Gallifreys in the audios. What happened to the other Gallifreys? Something has to come about. Bring back the Time Lords. Cybermen need to rest a bit, because even I put the Cybermen to rest, and that's saying something.
I found the Cybermen Time Lords to be absolutely fascinating as a concept, and I think they looked incredible.
Yes,
and then from there,
that's true.
After that, I'm like, I found it underwhelming. But again, I thought it looked good and I thought it was great. But as I was unfortunately underwhelmed by that. And as already mentioned, the pendulum didn't swing equally for me when it came to the Master and the Doctor. And I think maybe that's just kind of giving my own little epiphany. Maybe that's why I didn't really love this particular Master. Maybe because I didn't see it as like this equal kind of foil, because it took a bit for, I think, Joe, like all the other Doctors, it takes a little bit for them to kind of figure out who they are, both not the actor, but as a whole team effort of who's writing, who's the Doctor, who the acting, the directing, blah, blah, who's the, it's a team effort here. So I wasn't really feeling it so much. And like I said, and everybody here already knows on the show that it's I thought Missy was the pinnacle of Master, and then gave me another Master so quickly that I was just like, I don't care. And I hate to say that. I really, Sasha was brilliant, and it was just all these little things that personally I just didn't. I have a feeling that over time I'll rewatch, and then I will see all the, and I do see what everyone's saying, that's the amazingness that he brought to the screen. Just not my cup of tea, especially right now. Maybe give me some time. I'll rewatch and go, okay, now I can see that. Okay, I'm in the mood for more campy, scene, chewy kind of stuff. Missy forever.
So I've got 2 questions for either the audience or the panels. Okay, how did you find Sasha's Master interacting with the fugitive Doctor, Joe Martin, or the 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker? Who did you prefer work better? And the second question, which is going to be the elephant in the room, where do you reckon Sasha Master falls in the Time Lord? In the Master's timeline?
That's very true, because we don't see either end of his Master, right?
No, he just
not at the moment.
No, and someone had made that same comment. I think it was Mike. I gotta look for it. That there could be, to your point of perhaps that this Master was actually before Missy's Master. Who said that?
because we know that Missy was more generations than John Simm, because she actually said that.
Yeah.
So the question is whether or not Sasha Dhawan Master was pre or post Missy.
If you want a happy ending, you want to see the Master getting better, you know, becoming less evil, then it would make sense to put Sasha's Master before.
I'm in that camp, so
Yeah.
I would say before. But I
So
would
that
like
then
to
begs
see.
the question: does he go before or after? Well, John Simm doesn't mention it, but that doesn't mean we've had masters and doctors that don't remember themselves. Was he before John Simm?
But again,
and which one is more insane? Like the insanity level of those two is probably the most comparable.
Pretty crazy.
But
is there a through line there?
Then we will have to say that the master will then be for Professor Yana, because we saw that on screen.
Right, you're right. We did. No, that's true.
McQueen's master was before Yana, the War Doctor, but if we follow Big Finish, that's the issue, because the link says, spoilers, Lumiat and Missy were traveling together. Lumiat, the good witch, well, the Missy, the bad witch. Spoilers, because I'm reading off the website, so you can always look it up on comic book CBR, whatever R means. Missy took the Lumiat back to the TARDIS. She taunted her future self about the next incarnation, likely not being a good person, so forth and so forth. That's what fried my brain, because I'm trying to go through all these things. Missy kicks the Lumiat out of the TARDIS and abandoned her to regenerate. So then departed the planet, heading off to Earth, as she figured the Doctor would turn up there sooner or later. Crowd gathers that the Lumiat screamed in pain, forced her to regenerate into something evil again. So Big Finish made the bridge, but how far are we counting, what is canon again? That's another episode for Legend of Traveling Tardis. What is canon? How do we count the TV series mainline with the comic strips, with Doctor Who magazine, with Big Finish? We only have that one link with the 8th Doctor and possibly another somewhere. I just can't remember, because there's a lot to absorb. But
no, there's definitely been a couple of other connections, but not big ones.
Okay, so in the audience, could you just comment either if you think Sasha Dhawan's pre, type in pre, or if you think Sasha Dhawan's post, then type in post.
Still trying to find that one.
So I'm gonna read off at Candyman. I'm gonna read off your list that you gave me.
Yeah.
This was your order. I'm gonna take the letters out of it, but so Delgado, Simm, Ainley, Dhawan, Jacoby, Gomez, Roberts, and then you had a tie between Jeffrey Beavers and Chris Pratt. Do you know something we don't?
Okay.
Do we have a second American master? I can get behind this. I
make a mistake. I'm sorry. Okay.
I had to.
Next American master, yeah.
Yep.
I can see it happen.
Honestly, if you look at some pictures of Chris Pratt in a suit, he very rarely looks classy, but sometimes there's some good pictures of him looking kind of sinister-ish. So I can get behind that.
If Disney took more further control, it will be Chris Pratt, I swear.
Yeah, this is fair. But yeah, you had mentioned Alex McQueen, who was one of the Big Finish masters. And he started into I got dates. 2010, and then back in 2012, back 14 to 16, and then came back in 2021 for the masterful giant crossover, all of the masters and then some. There's the standard edition, which was 3 CDs, and this version is the box set that has 8 CDs, including some previously released stuff.
Nice.
So, and he's got some interesting word. Did I not put them up? What the heck? I had pictures of him. Give me a minute. Did I accidentally delete them before I posted them? Apparently I did. But yeah, he's got a very young looking he's got the bald look. He's got the young there you go. Yeah, you can solo him there if you want. Where are you?
I have an Alex McQueen head. I don't know if it's my cousin's house in England or so, but I just use a Lex Luthor figure because this is how Alex McQueen looked with his when he went further into the regular series. He always had a pink tie with blue stripes. It's like the picture.
Alex McQueen. Okay.
Yeah, there he is. There, I swear I had those. I swear I had pictures of his albums. But yeah, he's got kind of a young Lex Luthor look going on there. And that's one of the
Hitman look.
Yeah. So he's got some really interesting stuff, and I have not heard any of his episodes. You can't listen to all of Big Finish. There's just too much of it.
Yes, you can.
You can, and
you can try.
Maybe I will, but there's always more coming, and so it's just constantly a trouble.
Just go for more travel safe. Just keep on traveling.
Yeah,
but
there's been a few different of them.
The quick recap for much of the classic series, the Master was on his last life, surviving only by possessing others. When he returned in Utopia, however, we saw him regenerate. Simm's Master explained this by mentioning that the Time Lords had resurrected him for the Time War. This resurrection wasn't covered when McQueen's Master was initially introduced, but then until years later when the multi-master story, Day of the Master, but the Eighth Doctor's series, Dark Eyes, made it clear this was the first incarnation of the new life cycle. He was in between the new and classic. There were moments when he was more eccentric and manic as Sims or Dhawan, but then there are other moments when he's cold and calculating, rather like Delgado's or Beaver's incarnations. It's a tricky balance to get right. And he still makes a character feel natural, but it works. So when I was listening to the trilogy, and You Will Obey Me with Jeffrey Beavers into Vampires of the Mind, and of course the Two Masters. Two Masters was an interesting little thing there because somehow McQueen swapped his soul or his mind with Beavers. So that's why all these things are are getting strange in particular. They would start with the Fifth Doctor, Sixth Doctor, and there's the Seventh Doctor dealing with the Two Masters. The line I most remembered from that, McQueen's Master says, "Well, I remember you were burnt, crispy. I don't remember how." So he sets Beavers on fire. Hence how we got the Crispy Master. This is Big Finish's interpretation.
Oh, like, okay.
But very sinister, very talkative like this. Like sometimes I do because I just very sinister and such. But that's how this master talks. Very devilish and such. That's why you can see it in these other masters. He's the in-between.
Yeah. That's
cold and calculating.
Reverend,
but it works.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there's so many, and that's the thing with Big Finish. There's a couple of different, iterations of the Master that are out there, and there's a couple of different iterations of the same versions of the same regenerations of the Doctors, which makes things really interesting. And seriously, we could do an entire just show up Legend of the Traveling Master. Like we could.
Will that be a spin-off show?
It could straight up be a spin-off show. I've really been tempted, like I have more time, to like go through all of my role-playing Doctor Who role-playing game books and put together an unofficial Master supplement. Like dropping out because there's some. So here's a fun thing: unofficial, completely unofficial, cannot condone, blah blah blah. There are expanded versions of all of these.
Wow. Really?
That are out there in the internet that goes into some of the Big Finish stories and goes into all of the comics and all of these other things. You have to kind of hunt for them a little bit.
Are they fan made or are they?
They're technically fan made. Yeah, they're not.
Okay.
They use the same layout as much as possible as these. They usually have a similar cover to them with just like expanded edition on there.
Mm-hmm. No, that's
because that's
cool.
one of the things about role-playing games, right? Role-playing games, you can have all this non-canon stuff. That's the point of them.
Mm-hmm.
So these fans have come in and brought all of this extra stuff, and I would love to someday. I'd love to do something like that with the Master, and just kind of plug all of that together.
The unofficial guide.
That would be very fun.
Yeah, the unofficial guide to the Master. with a extra section on Doctors and Daleks.
Well, even then, we can even do a little subsection of Master, just podcast where we just talk about the greatest episodes or Big Finish or whatever. You know, here's the things that you should be really listening if it's a a Delgado one or the names. I mean, even the ones like at least to deal with the peaks, the valleys, the highs, the lows, all that kind of stuff. Especially if it's a master that we've got a lot of Big Finish, like Jacoby.
Yeah. At this point, we're getting almost all of them. At this point, even Sasha Dhawan's got some big is coming to Big Finish too.
Yeah. Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
We just don't talk about the first one. He was a bad man.
bad man.
Bad man. No,
bad man.
Bad man.
So we essentially did talk about,
yes,
not including the comic book ones or the big Doctor Who magazine ones, which got obscure. I mean, the whole idea, the regeneration process, which I had it up for hours so I can remember it. We went from Delgado, nothing before Delgado, to Crispy Master, to Beavers, to Ainley, and then it kind of like went there and there, but his body deteriorated, so went back to being Jeffrey Beavers again, because that was his original body, to be learning how to become the snake. And he was prepared, so that's why I think it was supposedly he took over. Well, I don't have the list in front of me. I can remember these things. My director is turning in his grave, looking down at me, saying, "You idiot! You can't remember your lines again."
M is for master.
Like a MasterCard. Okay.
We
go from the TV movie master to Eric Roberts.
Yep.
So the TV. I have the action figure too. It was not supposedly he was not regenerated. It was a human being he took over again. That's why he learned the ideas of becoming that snake thing. And to Eric, I still not understanding how Eric. Or you said Eric's master identity took over. Like, so he found someone similarly looking and older. Okay, I can kind of wrap my mind around.
Maybe we should. Maybe we should actually take a listen to Master, and it is Master with an exclamation mark because there's so many different versions of Master. Master. And that's something we've definitely talked about. But as we're getting close to we didn't want to do an hour and a half shows anymore, but we're back to that hour and a half show.
Happened.
We had fun.
Next week, Melanie, are we fairly certain we're going to do next week with MegaCon wrap up? So next
we'll do a MegaCon wrap up, and the big thing that we're going to do with MegaCon wrap up, because really it was like me and Jess there, so we can bring more panel interactive things. I'm going to also rehash the 4 panels that we had during MegaCon, so it's going to be kind of MegaCon recap, a little bit of what we did at the panels to recap those. I have notes of what the audience members brought in, and then of all the different the like who, if you had the chance to go into the TARDIS, do you want to go forwards or backwards? Who should have a spin-off? Who should come back and just be a companion again? And I'll bring up what the panelists had brought up, and some of them thought of stuff that none of us have ever touched on before. So anybody who's welcome to want to be on a panel, I'll also throw it out there to everybody else, naturally in our little private chat. But it'll be fun for all again. So
but will it be as adorable as
definitely Doctor Who.
In the 70s, watching Doctor Who on PBS, said, "Oh, hi there." There we go. So coming in late in the game, I feel for the kids who grow up.
Is it gonna be that adorable?
It's gonna be that adorable. Except it was me and Jess, and we just
nice.
I didn't have really. It was me, Jess, and DALEKHAL was able to come to to 3 of the 4 panels. Unfortunately, just kind of, and also the Dalek Builder. So actually, at one point we had 2 Daleks show up, which was awesome. Or no, 3 Daleks. We had 3 Daleks show up. I think it was on Thursday. Friday was just Hal. Saturday, no Daleks could barge in the room. It was so busy. There was no way that there would be able to anyone could get onto the floor to the elevator to get to the wasn't going to happen. And then again on Sunday, so it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun to be had.
And we've got a kind of we got a loose plan for the 27th, and we got a kind of a loose, because I'm on the road so much.
Yes.
I'm like, Melanie and I, we
Well,
have to sit down and figure this out because I can't pull this off on the fly.
No, yes, you can. Go ahead and do it.
No, well, I can't. I certainly can't run
No,
the show
I'm
from
kidding.
my car.
I'm kidding.
I am going. That's one of the reasons why we're doing MegaCon next week, not this week.
Yes,
I would be driving. I will be driving during that show. Maybe I'll have pulled over and having supper at a right time that I can chime in the comment section. But I'll be doing it from the show. Similar from the 27th. If we do the show that we're thinking, and when we're not even, it's something that I can prep for in the car, and it is something I can call in from the car. But Melanie will have to produce the show all by herself. Sorry.
That'll be fine.
Exactly.
I've got many friends to help.
Exactly, and we've got a great tentative lineup for March. It's going to be great. I hope you all continue to join us.
I have this whole bag of ideas too. So
exactly. We start getting into April because that's going to be crazy. But while we go through all of that, who wants to hype stuff? Nick, what do you got going on?
Oh my goodness, I've been writing like a fiend for the world's oldest Doctor Who fanzine, Celestial Toy Room. So look out for that. Also the annual, you can read the annual for free, the latest Celestial Toy Room annual. I wrote this honking big article about Robot, and that is on the Doctor Who Appreciation Society website. You can download it for free.
Woo! Very good. Candyman, you got anything interesting going on?
Just
keep coming back to us.
Yeah, I'm just still going on that. Jamie Dodger. This is a rainbow version Jamie Dodger. Part of the, I'm not sure you can see it. Unicorn. Jamie Dodgers.
Magical strawberry.
Especially after Deadpool's first trailer released at the Super Bowl.
Oh, that trailer's so good.
Thought that, and well done for Kansas City Chiefs. But yeah, I'm just plugging along. When Final Fantasy VII releases Rebirth, I'll probably hide away for about 10 days playing it.
That's fair. And Candyman, well, he's playing. What are you going to do, Rev? Oh, there we go.
Well, I'm going to try to attempt to be on Twitch every Monday now, even though I just had a bot follow me on Saturday. How about that? And when Dave is off the road for a brief minute, then he can help me with my pet project. Don't tell Mark.
Nope. The don't tell Mark plan. Yep.
Yeah.
I love this. The don't tell Mark project.
We'll tell him when we get started on it. But it'll be a very unique thing. I don't want to call it a spin-off, but would it be the Legend of ABC?
Y'all see, but maybe we will. Yeah. I think we should. We'll do a promotion of it on here as well for sure.
Because it's us.
Exactly. As far as for me, you can find me. You've got my YouTube right here, TheRatHole DOTCA. Twitch as well. I have been doing a lot of Dominion, which is the OG deck building card game. They've come out with a digital version, so I've been running amok with that. I hate video games. We've had this conversation on the show, but this is a really good app. It is free to play. All of the expansions are you have to buy them as downloadable content, but the basic game, you can do that. So definitely worth checking that out. That's me hyping that. Yay. But yeah, you can find me with our fabulous friends at Earth Station Who and Earth Station 1 at Pensacon. They just sent me the list of panels. Heaven forbid I should find those quickly enough. So you'll be able to find me there. And there we go. So we've got on Friday at 5 p.m. So you want to start a podcast, 6 p.m. on Friday, Crisis of Superhero Movies. 6 p.m. on Saturday, Time and Space Unveiled, the current landscape of Doctor Who in 2024. And Sunday at 1 p.m., the state of the Star Wars franchise. So it's going to be a lot of fun there and some free time there as well. So yay. I will then be working my way up. I've got the Gamma Expo, which I have often called in from Reno. It's in Louisville this year. That's an industry thing, so you won't find me there unless you're in the industry. But if you're in Louisville and feel the urge to want to show me something cool like a tiki bar, by all means, shoot me a message.
Oh, that industry. Sorry, I was thinking something else.
Yeah, no, gaming industry.
Gaming industry.
Yeah, it is Gamma is the trade organization for tabletop gaming retailers, media publishers, all of that. Origins is the public facing version of that in Columbus in June. But I've got the Quad Ball National Championships at the just outside Toronto in March as well, and I'll be playing, which I don't usually play with at the national level. I usually am a ref or the snitch, now flag runner, but I'll actually be playing with the Alberta Clippers, our provincial team. Ooh. So we will see how that goes, and then I'll be home. Theoretically, I might actually have to go down to Saginaw, Michigan, for some work stuff as well. But theoretically, I'll be back end of March, back in Alberta, and then the Calgary Expo is the end of April. So I'll be where I will hopefully find a new artist friend. The new artist friend at the Calgary's Fan Expo. A new maybe new to Calgary, anyways. But yes, so thank you guys, everybody, for joining us. I think it's a good time to wrap up because otherwise we'll just keep going for hours on end, as we are wont to do. So we'll do the thing that Christian likes and say, thank you for watching. All of us to all of you. Make sure you like the page wherever it is you're watching it. Comment, because feed the algorithm. We'll put those comments up as we close things out. Share this video. Share all of our videos because we like people to watch us. And of course, subscribe wherever you're watching this, especially over on our YouTube. As we slowly do things. We got. Oh yes, like I totally didn't ask Melanie where to find herself. She points to her. Pieces of what is that? Pieces of melee.
Pieces of melee. Go on pieces of melee. I'll be doing stuff on Instagram. I'm going to be painting more, finishing these guys up. And I'll just keep it at that so we can wrap up. You see me next week. Recap.
Yay. So yes, thank you guys all. We'll leave Candyman to eat his jammy Dodgers, and everyone else is hungry. I gotta pack up. I'm heading off to the Calgary. Maybe down the line we will talk about about that tooth. Yes, because that's the thing that we didn't get around to really discussing. But until then, thank you guys very much. And Tony, take us away.